Sorry, good afternoon, financial algebra. We are going to be covering 7.5. So 7.5 covers two topics, mortgage points and negative discount points. So mortgage points is when you pay up front a fee to actually lower your mortgage interest rate. Okay, and these are also called discount points. So this lower, you pay up front to lower your interest rate. The opposite almost is called negative discount points, and it increases your mortgage rate, but it decreases your closing costs. It's basically people that don't want to pay for their closing costs and they add it into their mortgage, but they will be charged an increased percentage. So we're going to cover examples of both. So this section talks about mortgage points usually cost 1% of the loan. So every point you buy, every point equals 1% of the loan. So there's 1 point per 1% of loan. And so we're going to calculate the following. So determine the cost of the points and the new interest rate for mortgage points. Now, these are discount points, so it is going to lower our rate. So first we have to figure out if $280,000 original APR, 1 point is a 0.2%. So we have to determine the cost, that what's it going to cost us to discount our rate. So let's first calculate 1%, because if we're buying 1 point, then that's going to cost us 1% of the loan. So if I calculate 1%, I get $2,800. So that's how much it would cost me to lower my rate. If the original rate is 4.18 and I'm decreasing it by 0.2, my new interest rate is now 3.8%. So let me repeat that. If I paid $2,800 when I purchased the home, then I can reduce my interest rate to 3.98. So I purchased 1 point. Now, part B, different problem, different loan. So I have a loan for $350,000. Here's my interest rate. If I buy 2 points with a 0.275 discount per point. So if I'm buying 2 points and each point is 1%, sorry, this should be 350,000. Then I'm multiplying this by 0.02. So let me go over this. I multiplied it by 0.01 because I was only purchasing 1 point. I'm multiplying it by 0.02 because it says I'm purchasing 2 points. Okay? So when I multiply that out, I get a cost of $7,000. So this is the cost. My new interest rate started at 2.95, but I'm going to subtract 2 of these discounts, 0.275. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to enter that into my calculator, and I get that her new interest rate is 2.4%. So if I pay $7,000 up front, I can lower the interest rate to 2.4. So I'm going to do one more of these and then we'll kind of move on because I don't think we need a million examples. So this next one is a loan of $600,000, but this time we're purchasing 3 points. So that would mean that I am 3 1% or 0.03. Okay, so again, I'm multiplying it by this because I'm purchasing 3 points, and each one is 1%. Remember, 1 point is 1%, so 2 points would be 2%. 3 points, 3%, and so on. So if I multiply this out, I got a cost of $18,000. And let's see what that lowers my interest rate. So 4.6 minus 3 times, I purchased 3 of these, and each one gave me a discount of 0.225. So if I enter that in my calculator, I got that now I decreased my rate to 3.925%. So I'm going to skip these only because I think that is plenty. And so those are how you would calculate points. So I didn't need all that room that I left on here. Number 2. So Juanita wants to take out, really quick, You know what, I'm actually going to skip 2 and move on to number 3. All right, so number 3, Ansel was approved for an 18-year, $450,000 loan with a 3.9% APR. If he purchases 1 point, his APR will now be reduced to 3.7. How much will his monthly savings be? So we're going to have to calculate his monthly payment at 3.9%, and then we'll have to calculate his monthly payment at the discounted 3.7% to see what his savings will be. Okay, so before we get started, let's first calculate if he purchases a point, it will be 1% of the $450,000. So $450,000 times 0.01. It will cost him $4,500 to purchase point. Okay, so let's calculate the monthly payments at the 2 different rates. Now for this section, we can go back to the original formula. So my loan is $450,000 times my rate, 0.039 divided by 12, times 1 plus 0.039 over 12. 18-year would be 18 times 12, which is 216. So that is what I'm going to have here. All over 1 plus 0.039 over 12 to the 216th minus 1. So I'm going to enter each of these. I did this in the last section and the section before that. And so I'm simply just going to enter what I got with my calculator. So I got $29.47 and 65 cents divided by 1.0155. So I got a monthly payment of $29.02.66. Okay. Now, if he purchases the point and now lowers it to 3.7%, it's almost the identical formula. Right here's the 3.9%. So in this next formula, the only thing I'm going to change is I'm going to change 0.039 to 0.037. So same loan amount, but now this is 0.037 divided by 12. 1 plus 0.037 over 12 to the 216th, all over 1 plus 0.037 over 12 to the 216th minus 1. So notice the only thing I changed is that percent right there. And if you're unsure what formula to use, open the book. Okay, so this is the formula we're using. I entered this in my calculator and I got 2697.91 over 0.9444. So now my monthly payment is $2856.63. So I wanted to know what would his monthly payment savings be. So what would he save per month, right, if he purchased the point? So you would simply subtract the 2 and he would save $46 per month. So overall, 46.03 times 216. Overall, he would save almost $10,000. So to spend $4,500 and save almost 10, it might be worth it for people. Okay, so this is per month. Number 4. Akiko purchased 4 points, each of which reduced her APR by 0.165. Each point cost her 1% of her loan value. Her new APR is 2.8, and her points cost her $19,200. So we're actually going to work backwards. So what was the original interest? Well, if her discount is now 2.8, plus she purchased 4 points, each one worth 0.165. So I'm taking her new rate plus the points she purchased to get the original. And if I enter that, I get an original APR of 3.4%. Part B, what is her principal? So they're telling us that 19,200 cost her 4% of her principal, right? Because it's 1% per point, and she purchased 4 points. So 4 points is 4% of loan or price. Okay? So if I divide both sides by the 0.04, I will have the principal on her loan. And so when I do that, if I calculate, I get a principal of $480,000. Moving on to number 5. In this problem, we're going to determine her monthly payment with the points, her monthly payment without the points, and then her break-even month. So, for example, if you're paying up front to lower your rate, when are you going to break even or make up for that money spent? So in part A, we've already done the formula like a million times. So let's first figure out her new percentage. So each point costs 1% of the loan value. Patty is considering buying 3 points. So here we go. It would be her original 3.17 minus she wants to buy 3 points, each worth 0.25. And so if I enter that, I get an interest rate of 2.42%. So I'm going to calculate her monthly payment. It's the same formula as above. And so I'm going to enter the formula. It's the 220 times 0.0242 divided by 12 times 1 plus, right? I've written this formula a million times, so if you're even watching or care, this is 360, you will know the formula. And so I'm simply going to put what I get for part A because I don't want to write this formula a million times. And I don't know how many of you even watch these videos. So for part A, I got that her monthly payment would be $860 when I entered all of this. Now for part B, I'm going to calculate her payment without the points, meaning the 3.17%. So for part A, I'm using the discounted. For part B, I'm using the 3.17. Same formula. I'm just going to change these 3 to 3.17, and I get a monthly payment of $947.87. So determine the break-even month. So first we have to determine the cost of points. Okay, so she purchased 3 points, so that would be $220,000 times 0.03. So it would have cost her $6,600 to purchase the points. So this is the cost of her points. Now we need to determine her savings. So that would be the monthly payment without minus the monthly payment with. And I got a total savings of $87.80. So if it cost her $6,600, but she's saving this per month, let's divide to see how many months it would take for her to break even on the money she spent. So if I divide her cost divided by her savings, it will break even in 75 months. Now, her loan is 360 months long. It is worth it for her to pay down those points. So that is the first set of examples. We're now going to do one where we deal with negative points. And so let me turn my page. We're just going to do one because I think you'll understand the difference. So, and for this one, remember, negative points reduces the closing costs, but it increases. It does the complete opposite before. So it negative points reduces the closing cost by 1% of the principal and increases the APR by 0.125. So Jared wants to buy $540,000 at this rate for 25 years, and the closing costs are $10,000. So if one negative point equals an 1 point equals 1%, and his closing costs are $10,000, then I need to figure out what percentage of his principal, of his loan, is $10,000. So his closing costs are $10,000. If I divide that by $540,000, he needs, if I make that back, he needs 1.85% in negative points. So then I would take 1.85 and multiply that by I was moving on to part B. So he needs, in order to cover the costs, he needs to purchase 1.85 negative points. What will his new APR be? Well, 1.85, it's almost 2 points, times the amount it's going to increase by. And so that would be an increase of 0.23125 plus his original loan of 3.48. His new loan is now going to be 3.71%. There is a chance in 15 years his company would be moving to a different state. So his loan is for 25 years. Well, 25 times 12 is 300 months. That's the life of the loan. But it's saying he's going to leave in 15 years, and 15 times 12, I believe is 180, is 180 months. So let's figure out his break even. So if I calculate his monthly payment at the original 3.48%, I got a monthly payment of $2697.6. When I calculate his monthly payment for the higher rate, 3.71%, his monthly payments are now $2764.50. So notice he's paying more per month. In fact, he's paying his monthly cost would be the $2764.50 minus the $2697.60. It's costing him $66.90 in order to avoid his closing costs. Now, where's his break even? Remember, the break even is the cost, and in this case, divided by his, it's not his savings, it would be the difference, the monthly difference. So if I divide that by 66.90, I get that it's going to take him 149.5 points to make it worth it. Now, if he leaves in 180, he barely broke even. So I would say no, it's not worth it to pay more per month. Anyways, if you ever need help, please let me know. We can set up a Google Meets. I have cohorts on Friday, so please let me know if you need any help with this material.